guys are ready. All right.
What's the topic tonight?
You'll find out. We're just gonna talk. We're gonna talk games.
I'll find out. I'm gonna start crying in the middle of this thing.
God, I hope you do. God, I hope you do.
It'll be his ringtone or something.
Yeah. New 3DS. Heil, I'll bring him in this week.
Sure.
All right. Welcome back, System Wars, to another edition of Pedal to the Metal. I am your co-host, the Eroica, and you are on tonight with the hashtag legendary Heil68. What's going on, Heil?
Not much, just enjoying life, enjoying the PS4 as always.
Mm-hmm. We're also on tonight with the one and only Mr. Animal Mother, who is just conquering the world down in New York City. What's going on, Animal?
I'm sad and my phone's ringing. I'll be right back.
Oh my God, it really is. He's going to cry. And we're also on tonight with two guests from the System Wars community, Darkspine Slayer and In Before You All. What's going on, guys?
It's actually new Darkspine Slayer. There's more VRAM or something.
Oh, wow, you added some VRAM to the old Darkspine Slayer.
I'm enjoying watching the gaming journalism crumble.
Yeah, what I know? Yeah, Darkspine and I were talking just a little bit before it started. Is this Darkspine on the same thing that you were talking about?
Are we actually gonna do this? Fuck.
Well, just give me a synopsis, because I got to admit, like, I started work this week, and I know no one has sympathy. No, I'm a teacher.
Fuck no.
Fuck no. Okay, fuck me. Ohio didn't even talk to me all summer. He hates me so much.
Sorry, I'm back to intro.
Well, we're just about to learn, Animal, about John here, or I should say, In Before You All, is tell us a little bit about what's going on with gaming and journalism on Twitter. So what's going on, guys? Tell us.
I try to avoid it. I've just been reading articles here and there, so I'm probably not the best one to ask. Just Google Zoe Quinn and Gamergate.
I can talk about that.
It's not even entirely about Quinn and that bullshit. It's
about a bunch of lunatics.
There's a really nice thread on Wars from the Slate.
It is a really nice thread and a really nice article, but it's not even really about the whole Zoe Quinn, Phil Fish, that bullshit. It's really hard to explain. On one hand, you've got gamers who don't entirely understand how enthusiast press works. On the other hand, you've got games journalists who need to understand that calling your audience scum is probably the fastest way to lose your meal ticket. And it's just a bunch of people yelling at each other because that's what Twitter does.
Yo, was Phil Fish a one-hit wonder before he became a raving maniac?
He's always been a one-trick pony.
Yeah, I mean, Fez took him, 7 years to bring out?
Yeah.
And, I mean, Fez is a fantastic game. I mean, I'm not going to say it's the best indie game I've ever played or the best video game I've ever played, but it's a pretty entertaining game.
A lot of people like it.
Yeah, I mean...
I haven't played it, but I'm waiting until he sells it off so the money goes to somebody else.
Yeah.
I've actually avoided playing it. I bought it, unfortunately, but I've avoided playing it because of Phil Fish.
Interesting.
Yeah, this... I guess, what are we talking about, like, integrity in Twitter and stuff like that now? Is that what we're talking about?
Well, we're just... just the way that the culture is kind of congregating on Twitter right now and the drama that's going on.
Rika, the drama's well past, but... there was when all this was happening 2 or 3 weeks, I was talking to you about it nonstop. Does there need to be a talk about integrity between gaming journalists and the internet? I mean, the internet has a megaphone and they're loudmouth assholes, but the people who do this shady shit, they're assholes with people on their side. So when gamers finally take to the stand, they don't say the right things, and they kind of go about it, and then you have people supporting their claims, like people like Adam Sessler or, GameSpot or Giant Bomb, and it's just kind of like.
Well, okay, here's a question for you, and maybe it's been asked before, maybe we've talked about it. Has gaming journalism ever had integrity? And follow-up question is do we take gaming journalism too seriously as gamers? At the end of the day, we're not we're not discussing and reviewing and previewing like nuclear weapons and like, you know, global war. We're talking about video games, something that's designed purely for entertainment. I mean, are we expecting too much out of gaming journalists to begin with?
I don't think so. Like, when I go to GameSpot or somewhere and I read a review, it's because I want to know how to spend my $60. And if they're going to be bought off or there's people sleeping around or something like that going on behind the scenes, like, that doesn't fly with me.
So then, you know, you look at it as journalists at the very minimum, you know, there has to be some type of integrity that goes into these reviews. And
Well,
If they want to write... Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, gaming reviewers also have to respect the audience. You can't, like, this. I'm gonna call out Champ, but like we were talking about this kind of where there was a time where these. All right, you know what? I'm gonna be honest. These people to me are extremists.
these people,
like the feminists and these kind of. There was a great article somebody posted on the whole Zoe Quinn thing, and it was like, you see all these indie developers, right?
Mm.
And it said, do these people look like the nerds that used to code your games? Like the small 10-man or 15-man teams that made Doom or this or that, or like the 50 to 100 people teams that made like really big video games? These people are freaks. Like, these are people you would see in Williamsburg, like, playing the guitar thinking they're going to strike it big because they're singing about Brooklyn chicks or whatever, or they're singing about the A Train.
we can all agree that we understand what he's talking about, right, guys?
Yeah, that sounds like Phil Fish.
Yeah.
Like, these people have come in with their very high standard approach to things, and they think their standard is it.
Mm.
But they don't, like, I'm not going to respect somebody with, like, all pink hair, like, and, like, is that somebody you want to be in business with? Like Eureka, you're a teacher. Like, would the school board of Massachusetts hire somebody with pink hair, littered in tattoos, with piercings all over their face? Like, would they hire that person to...
Well, I mean, in all honesty, there's in most school systems, there's going to be some type of a general appearance code that, you know, a teacher would have to live up to. But at the same time, we're talking about public education and spending tax dollars and something that's derived from payment that's in the private sector. I mean, technically, they could hire anybody they wanted.
You are right. But like I said, like, look at the past. These are not the people who used to make video games. These people they're extreme, and they're extreme in lifestyle, if you get what I'm saying.
Heil, what do you think about all this? I mean, is this something that even comes up on your radar, Heil, from in between you driving your Harley from coast to coast? Like, do you care?
He's fapping to Sunset Overdrive.
He's fapping. Do you care at all about like the integrity of gaming journalists, or do you look at it more from an entertainment aspect, where like when Tom McShay writes a controversial review to you, that just makes it more fun to be on System Wars?
I'm the latter. I don't take it seriously. I don't really care. I mean, you can find serious journals like the guys at Game of Sutra. Those guys really are intelligent and well spoken, and I just had a hard time believing any of those guys take like money on the site because they don't view games like IGN or GameStop. So, but you can find if you want the more serious side, you know. But I'm my own game journalist. So when a game comes out, when new games come out, because I'm such an enthusiast now that I follow it from basically the announcement all the way to a release. So I can see fairly certain, with the help of other gaming outlets, what a game's going to be like. I've only been burned a couple times, but the games that I buy nowadays, new day one, are games that typically I really like and haven't been disappointed with, and follow them through gaming sites. But they give low scores to games I like GameStop gave Rise and Knack both a 4, and I played them both and liked them.
Yeah,
so we can go the whole thing like that again. So I read them for entertainment. I don't think like, oh my god, that guy is so, compare him to something you read like an opinion column.
Right.
But most review sites, I mean, review something, chances are you're getting that item for like a free review. So
Yeah.
you could argue that movies or music or is Rolling Stone not biased with their music? I don't know, but
I don't know.
reviews. But look at that serious.
Yeah, I mean, not to be kind of like give the puss, reason here, but I kind of feel like I'm kind of half in between, in the camp of John and half in the Heil camp, because for me, I look at it like, yeah, I definitely want to know what somebody's professional opinion would be, someone who plays games, who's a game enthusiast and whatnot. I also look at it like, in today's day and age, like, I don't know, there's demos at our fingertips, there's games are so easily accessible. It's not like a blackout window where you either buy a ticket and go to the movie or you acquire it illegally. A video game is, I feel like, especially with console games, I know you can rip off games on PC, but like, games are so accessible that I almost kind of like what you said, Heil, I'm almost like my own critic. Like, yeah, I'll take somebody's opinion, into account, maybe with some mechanics and things like that, story setting, but like, ultimately at the end of the day, I'm going to feel about the game whatever I play out of it. So
yeah, so like a good example for me is Animal brought it up, was Sunset Overdrive. Now I love Insomniac, and I wouldn't change quote unquote camps just because they are making an Xbox One exclusive. So I'm very much looking forward to that game. I love their art. I love their weapons. I've loved all their Ratchet games, Resistance games. So, but I've followed that since they showed the first little bit last year's or 2013's E3, and then they showed some more gameplay this one, and I already have my mind made up. I'm buying that game.
Yeah.
So even if the score is low by gaming journalists, it's not going to deter me from buying that game. So it'd be cool to see some validation, I guess, on the side that, hey, these guys agree with me on that game. These guys are good, and the game is good. But
to an extent, but like. So something else we've seen in System Wars pop up, mainly just troll threads, but there is the issue with Steam where it's like, oh, some of these early access games kinda iffy. I still go to people like Total Biscuit and Reddit to see if a game's gonna be legit before I buy it.
Yeah, Darkspine, anything to add there?
Hey, it totally caught me off guard. I had something, I lost it.
Here,
I'll add one thing that's these days with games and the development costs, they can't really, and something happens in the other side of the world hears it within like 2 minutes. You can't hide behind reviews if you make shitty games. They know. Have you guys, besides like Duke Nukem Forever, and they were like, that's been that's been so long, and now the Gearbox is just going to shoehorn it out, but. Most games come out. Too Human might have been surprised, but games that are like truly like broke awful at launch, or you can see those coming. Alien Colonels Marines, another Gearbox game. I don't know if that's a coincidence, but I don't like Gearbox. But not too many games come out like total shit because you're gonna know it. And if you make a shitty game,
right?
I'm not sure I would blame that on journalism more as I'd blame it on publishers. Like apparently Destiny review copies go out like the day before launch.
Go out Monday.
They go out Monday and the game's out Tuesday. Like that doesn't. You see that and it's like, okay, this is your big flagship title.
Yeah,
but that doesn't bode well.
Somebody brought it up. I don't know if it was.
Does not give me confidence in the product.
But it's Bungie. You have to look at history of something to at least say, well, this studio has made so many. Listen. I think the Halo series is great. It's not my cup of tea. I think it's a great series. It plays well. It's tight as hell. Chock full of content. And Halo 1 through Reach. You have to have a little bit of faith in a track record. You can't be. Here comes an Animal Mother analogy.
Can't wait.
You can't be and I'm sure Heil and Eureka can attest to this. You can't be with somebody for 10 years and then all of a sudden change pace on what they're like. Oh, they're just gonna turn their back on you. I'm sure Destiny will turn out to be a what?
Where the fuck is this going?
It's called divorce, John. You ever heard of it?
Oh, Jesus Christ! With your relationship advice.
You get what I'm saying? If it's a strong relationship, it will work in the end.
Well, I think they let out Destiny the day before so they can have more players online to interact with what is an MMO. So just to release it to journalists, that might have been a barren world. So I don't look too much into that.
There's no matchmaking though. That's the problem.
Yeah, but I think that what Darkspine's point is that how thorough and how good can a review be? How indicative of truth can these future reviews be if the review copies are going out the day before release? Like, are you going to take any day one review sites at face value, or
Well, I wouldn't take any review sites at face value because it's a game chock full of content. Like.
So what you're saying then is that the Destiny review won't amount to a hill of beans no matter what, because it's too rich of a game to give an accurate review to. So then why not sensationalized reviews in gaming journalism? This goes back to my main point, where are we taking it too serious? Are we putting too much emphasis on the expectations of a game review, or should we just sit back and say, you know what, this is opinion on
the reviewers brought it upon themselves. These sites have to survive somehow.
Right.
So these people became the authority on games reviews. And for them, you can't sensationalize what am I trying to say here? Like at a point, these sites became very prevalent during the PS2, N64, Dreamcast, PS2 is when it was like, I feel like it was all like
you lost your point.
No. Like reviews are still maturing, you know what I mean? But the problem is reviews got lost in the mix somewhere. Like, they became agenda and personal oriented rather than like objectively looked at. Like, instead of being like, oh hey, like, this is what the game is, it works, it's technically fine, it's this, it's that, it controls great, yada yada. Instead it's, oh, Grand Theft Auto 5 tells women that women smell like a bitch. And you're like, yo, what does that have to do with anything? Like, that has nothing to do with Grand Theft Auto, you know?
Right. Okay, so John, you wanted to bring up a point.
I'll be right back. You guys can argue about my.
All right, you go put your pants back on. John, you wanted to bring up a point. What was it?
Yeah. So the other day I was talking to a friend, and he brought up this really interesting theory. He said, these consoles, they're selling really well. The PS4 is having, you hear the phrase selling on hype alone. And we had a conversation before it started that there are games, but not really any huge system sellers. And you have to ask, do the gaming sites, they benefit from you buying that console? Because if you buy that console, then you come back for news. Are they partly for the phrase, PS4 is selling on pure hype and things like that?
Interesting. Kyle, what do you think? You love the Sony hype. Is gaming journalists and websites selling the PS4 right now, or is it selling on its own merit?
Microsoft helped sell that. At E3, my show going. I mean, they really did. They alienated a lot of people, and anecdotal evidence, okay, for sure. But I went to my launch, and since then I've met people that switched from Xbox to back, or over, or to Sony for the first time, or went back to them, whatever you would call it, because of that E3. So, and the sales numbers show that it's almost a double up lead. So, of course, Xbox can come back, but I think Microsoft in that conference really helped them. Plus, Sony changing back to normal architecture that the devs can easily work with. I
think that the other thing that helps them too, and maybe this is the obvious, although not often talked about, but how about just the fact that what was the generation fatigue? Gen 7 was the longest generation I think I can remember in my gaming life. What did it last, like 8 years? 7-8 years, something like that. We went from 2005, November of 2005 is when the Xbox 360 launched.
9 years now.
And it's still going on right now. I mean, obviously it's been overshadowed by the Gen 8, but a super long generation adds a lot of fatigue. I mean, I know that one of the things that got me hyped about buying a PS4 was just that it was a new piece of hardware that had all this promise in what it was going to be able to deliver. So, yeah, I mean, if I could go back and buy a PS4 again, knowing what a year down the road would look like, I'd probably just say, nah, I'll just beef up my PC and just, you know what I'm saying, play the PC until the PS4's got a bunch of good stuff. And likewise with the Xbox One, but you know, I bought it because I wanted a new piece of hardware in my house. You know, I wanted the new generation, the promise of it. You know, I don't know if you guys think there's any validity to that, or if you think that, you know, it's selling so well just because of journalist hype or what. But I don't know. It feels like Sony can't do much wrong though in as far as the home console is concerned. Animal, anything to add?
I don't know. Microsoft sold the PS4 for Sony themselves when Don Matrick basically told everyone to stick a finger up their ass.
Yeah.
You know, saying like, "Oh, we have a console for you," and it's not always online. It's called Xbox 360. Like,
yeah.
Like, and I think, you know, listening to Giant Bomb and reading news sites, you know, they've talked about it in terms of sheer power. The PS4 has it down. You know, right now, not fully there yet because it's still early in the gen, you know? Like, they're still optimizing stuff, so they're still learning this hardware. I mean, regardless, whatever you think of Uncharted 3, it's an amazing-looking game. The Last of Us, amazing-looking game. Puppeteer looks brilliant. And, you know, like, I can't say much for the Xbox 360 because Microsoft basically stopped support for it after Gears of War Judgment, but, I mean, it had good-looking games up until the end of its life cycle.
Mm. Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. What are we talking about?
I don't know. You know, we spiraled from the point of Zoe getting hammered by Phil Fish on Twitter, and it spiraled into a philosophical reasoning on why consoles are selling the way they are right now. So
yeah, consoles sell well. They're awesome.
But anyway, so let's move things along then. You know, one of the big reasons we wanted to have these guys that are on the show with us tonight, Dark Spine and In Before You All, wanted to talk a little bit about the new 3DS. Nintendo's kind of, is it fair enough to say it was kind of a surprise announcement? I mean, was anybody anticipating this? I wasn't.
I don't think anybody.
Yeah. So, you know, let me start then. Let me start with Darkspine. Darkspine, the new 3DS comes out. It's obviously it's coming out in Japan first. We're going to look for it in the States in 2015. What exactly is this console appealing to? I mean, is it time to replace the 3DS with your new 3DS? Is it a waste of time? Is it basically a PSP Go, the Nintendo version? Like, get into it, Darkspine. What do you think?
PSP Go is a bad analogy. The better analogy is the Game Boy Color, because that's really what this is. Game Boy Color was a beefed up Game Boy Color screen, extra juice under the hood. This new 3DS, it adds new controls, like 2 more shoulder buttons, a little nipple thing for camera control, like
sweet nipple, Nintendo.
Yo, Nintendo's got to appeal to the hardcore.
Yeah, it does.
Better 3D effect for the people who still give a shit.
Mm.
I don't know why they pulled this out now. People like Charizard, for example, who follow Nintendo super closely, were thinking Nintendo was maybe 2 years away from the next handheld system, and for some reason they're going with this half step that honestly I think just really serves to alienate all the people who have a vanilla 3DS.
Yeah.
And might want to, like, now you're asking them to pop down another $200 for shit like Xenoblade or whatever else they do that's exclusive to this new 3DS. And apparently they are going to be doing more of those exclusive titles for this handheld.
Mm. Willie on Animal, and I want to hear your point. Willie wants to know, Dark Spine, why you compared it to the Game Boy Color and not the DSi.
The DS, there were maybe a handful of games that were enhanced by the DSi, but overall, it never made. There weren't any notable games made specifically for it. Like Game Boy Color, like off the top of my head, they had Pokemon Crystal, they had Wario Land, they had. Yes, Willie, they have one right now.
Willie's not liking your responses, Dark Spine.
They've already established this precedent, and even with just Xenoblade, even with one, they've already had more games than the DSi had exclusive to it that people give a shit about.
Yeah,
Willie.
So yeah. So then I want to move it over now to John, to In Before You All, and I want to know what's your rebuttal to that? I mean, you think that, or do you have rebuttal? Do you agree with Dark Spine?
I agree with Dark Spine. Like, I think that it was a mistake on Nintendo's part. I personally am excited for it. I was in the market for a new 3DS. Like, I usually buy a Nintendo handheld at the beginning, and then at the end of the generation just to replace it for wear and tear on handhelds. And this will fit nicely into that plan. But what?
No, nothing. Keep going.
Oh. But yeah, I think it does alienate the audience. I'm not so sure about. Everybody's all worried about these exclusive games. I think they're mainly just going to be ports from like the Wii games we've seen before, but it could happen.
Yeah. So then, someone who might not know out there, John, tell us this: is it the new 3DS has got a little bit of extra juice under the hood, which means that Nintendo has announced that they're basically planning to come out games that will run exclusively on the new 3DS hardware, and existing 3DS hardware will not play these games. Do I have that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like Xenoblade.
Right.
Why, Nintendo? Like, they could have spent so much more money. Like, why did they just give it a little boost to bring it under the Wii?
So then why then? Why are they doing this? What they clearly have some type of an anticipation that there's a market or a demographic there that doesn't have a 3DS that's excited to get a 3DS. Like, what?
Their official reason is that they wanted to speed up the system, like internet browsing and the system functions like settings and stuff. And that Xenoblade is just something cool they found out that they could do. I don't know how much I believe that.
It looks like ass, though.
My personal opinion on the matter is that anybody who gave a shit about any of these Wii games already played them. I mean, let's face it, everybody had a Wii.
Right.
Why don't I just become a modder and put a screen with buttons on my Wii, and I'll just play it that way? I'll walk around with a Wii and a big battery.
You sound like you're talking inside of a toilet.
I know.
So, did we drop Heil from the call?
No, I'm here.
Oh, you are here. Okay.
It's just Darkspine Slayer drop.
All right.
It's so that Nintendo is like in this late. The 3DS has had three Nintendo. It had the 3DS, the 3DS XL, and the 2DS, and then the stupid Frankenstein machine. Like, sorry everyone, I'm cranky tonight.
Hasn't had his whiskey.
No, I haven't. No, it's really silly. Like, why not save the money, save the production costs, unless it's that cheap? Mm-hmm. But like, I can't imagine it being that cheap.
So, well, that's my next question. Is this all to do for nothing? Like, what if they announce the new 3DS is going to be $150?
Like, why not just save the money and just R&D into their next console, or not even console, their next handheld, because that's where we know Nintendo dominates.
Did you mean that the new 3DS, like the new one they announced, is $150, or its successor?
No, I'm asking. I mean, is
because it's supposed to be priced at the smaller one is supposed to be $154, and the new 3DS LL is like $180 something.
Oh.
So,
wow. Okay, I didn't hear a price. That's wow. Is it so? All right. I mean, assuming there's going to be some type of trade-in deal too at the GameStops of the world.
And people think that the market's going to be really confusing for people. I think once they roll out the new 3DS, the original 3DS and the XL they're going to stop production.
They're going to phase them out.
They're going to carry on with the 2DS because it serves a different market, and then it'll be the 2DS alongside the new 3DS and the new 3DS XL.
That's still confusing as hell for the consumer, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
you still have all those.
Tell, and putting a 3 in front of it was also not the smartest.
And just calling it the new 3DS is what I'm saying. Like you have all
Apple's these new iPad. Honestly,
yeah.
There's a difference there, though. The iPad, you can have a 3rd gen iPad. I can have a 5th gen iPad. They run the same shit. There is a difference here. Like you still got all those 3DSs out there. You're gonna have the 2DS, which isn't gonna run these new games. You're gonna have people trying to figure out the difference between the 3DS, the new 3DS, the 2DS. What can this? And that's not something like the layman consumer is going to be asked to research.
Right.
Well, the old 3DS isn't going to be there for much longer, if I'm correct.
It's still out there, is the thing.
For now.
Right.
No, it's still out there. People own this device. It's not a matter of it being on the market.
It's Nintendo has royally.
But they're not releasing.
Go ahead, Ian. Before you all go ahead.
The games will still. All they have to do is say that it won't work on the XL. Just list the. Okay, I get where you're going from with the exclusive games, not necessarily with 3DS games. Most of the games will work with all the systems.
So you know that there's going to be like that one retailer too that has that like really embarrassing like spider web chart that shows you like, hey consumers, if you have a 2DS you can play these games, and if you get a new 3DS you can play these games, and someone's going to take a picture of it. It's going to be hilarious. But Heil, question for you.
What's that?
You are not a huge 3DS guy. You have a 3DS. Anything that sways you, making you want to buy a new 3DS?
No, not at all. No, I think I'm done with handhelds, period.
Really?
I am, I think.
Now, you were never really big into hand. I can admit that I was never. I owned a DSi. I owned an original Game Boy back in the day, and I own a Vita and 2 3DSs now. Are you like? Is that kind of about as where you are with handheld? Like once in a while, or are you just pretty much like not for me?
Not for me. I mean, I've tried. I've had the PSP, DS, and now 3DS.
Yeah.
When I game, I have my
Vita?
consoles. No Vita.
Vita?
I don't. That's well known.
I've been trying to teach him the live, love, and learn philosophy for years, and he just won't listen.
Oh.
Not on Vitas. Not on handheld gaming.
The Vita's amazing. Like I can't gush about the Vita.
Me too. It's the best device. It's the best device I've played in a long time. I love it.
I play
love
it every
the Vita.
night. I play it every night.
If only Sony handled it well, think of what it could have been.
I know. I'm playing Persona 4 Golden right now too, and it's just delicious. It's such a good game.
You lucky bastard.
Yeah. I know. It's really really great. And yeah, I mean, just like little things too. Like when I bought Rogue Legacy, I got the cross buy, and it's like I remember one day my kids wanted to play watch TV, and I went from the PS4 to the PS3 to the Vita in a matter of like 2 hours. With my same save file, and I'm just like, this is exactly what I want out of gaming. Like, I want to be able to just be like, oh, I've got 5 minutes here, I'm going to play this game. Or
we should rename ourselves the Vita Podcast, considering how much we talk about.
We
it.
have been talking. We admittedly, I know.
Why don't we just monument to the Vita? Like, I'm just going to get you a big painting of it for Comic-Con.
No, don't do that. That's
I'm going to write
pussy on it.
Well, I was going to be a little less lewd, but
okay.
I was going to write Panty Slayer, but thanks.
Well, we don't need to keep talking about the Vita, but any last thoughts, guys, on the new 3DS? Like, who are they selling it to, and are they going to be successful with it?
No, because they named it They named it the 3DS LL.
They're selling it to the Smash.
The
crazies who are
LL
like,
is
I
just
have
what
to have a C stick. That's. But
Oh my fucking
Yeah,
god!
Smash isn't going to be working with this thing though.
I'm
it will
so
in Japan.
angry.
They just screwed it up for North America, which
That
doesn't
makes
make
me
sense.
so
But it will
mad.
be out
It's so
around the same time in
stupid.
Japan.
So stupid.
So, your Darkspine, you're saying that that Super Smash Brothers is not going to translate well over to the new 3DS, or it's not going to translate at all.
I'm not. I'm saying it's just a vanilla 3DS game. It's not going to
Okay,
use the new
gotcha.
features.
Gotcha.
As for final thoughts, I have no idea who they're selling it to. It's probably going to do well. Hell, I'm going to buy it despite all my bitching for much of the same reason as John. It's time for an upgrade for me.
Mm-hmm.
And just to answer Animal Mother's question, LL is just what the Japanese call the XL.
Can we just call each other by our System Wars names? Because my name is John too, and I'm all confused.
John number 2?
Can I be John 1?
Oh
Because
god.
I'm on the podcast weekly. Come on, give a little little seniority respect here.
Well, it's funny because in Before You All has always to me been John, because he used to be John on
Yeah.
System Wars.
John who?
He was John
WH18.
John WH18. The guy that every time we said John WH18 Animal, you said who?
Who?
Yeah. We had him on like 7 times, and you go, who?
I don't know. I hate everyone on System Wars. I love them on the mic. Like, everyone can die on System Wars until they get on the podcast.
And then you like him again.
Yeah, and then they're like, "Hey, I'm kind of nervous. It's like my first time."
Yeah. You fight with KW2 on System Wars, and then you want to have his baby when he talks on the Pedal to the Metal.
Yeah, exactly. He's a cool guy. I like KW2, though he's got a 10-foot Xbox rod up his butt.
Oh man. Oh god. So guys, let's move this along a little bit. What are you playing right now? Kyle, what are you playing?
Diablo 3, Reapers of Souls. So good.
Yo, that's a PC game. Shut up.
We used to be. PC Boys M Cry, so really good though. And Wolfenstein.
And
That
Control.
John never sent me.
Yeah, I never sent it to you. I'm too lazy to.
John's a super number 2.
But Diablo, I'd highly recommend it. So me and the hell is his name? Greg, is it Gray Stout on System Wars? Been
No,
playing.
get your yayas out.
Get your yayas out.
That's not him.
No, that's it. That's really
his
it.
name.
That's really it. I know. I look at it too, and I think gray. It's like gray or stout. But then I looked close, and it's like, no, it's get your yayas out.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Actually,
He's
he's
gonna
gonna.
quite a bit. It's really good. It's really colorful. No stuttering.
Yeah.
I'm level 50 some, so yeah.
Is it
How do you-
60
how do you feel?
frames? 60 frames a second?
I think it is, but I we don't notice any stuttering, and Yo-Yo said that too. So
Yeah.
I actually convinced him it's the first Diablo game he's ever played. And he's been really
Diablo 3 is so good.
happy to play it, and it's great since they dropped the auction house and the loot's a little better. So
Yeah.
it's a good game to play for a couple hours, clear some rooms, and it's really endless. It's a great social game. It's not a game.
Adventure mode is one of the best things they added to that game.
Is that just
So-
like endless loot? Just
It's
pretty
just
much.
well, you what they do is they arrange. So they're with Reaper of Souls, they added a 5th act. So they added something called bounties. So in adventure mode, you have all 5 acts. You have the whole map opened up to you, right?
Mhm.
So they give you specific tasks or missions to fulfill, like go kill rare monsters, or go kill 500 of this monster, or just go kill 500 monsters in this area, or kill all the enemies in this area.
It's
And-
good, Heroic. Your kids would love it because you can do boss runs too. So,
Mhm.
and I'm pretty sure there's no real end to the loot. There's upgrading your pieces, and so far up through 50, they've done a good job of always giving you extra piece. And now you can give gifts. So when you give a gift to someone, it comes by as rare item that needs to be identified, and usually all of them make your stats go up. So it's so nice when you do that. You see a bunch of green arrows. It's like, oh yeah.
Mm.
So it's really good. I
Yeah.
highly recommend.
And it's rated M.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's really no.
It's like Halo M, where it's like not really M.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, there's some stuff like there's snakes coming out of bloated bodies, and there are people screaming and on fire.
your kids would be fine.
That's awesome. My kids will love it.
Yeah, your kids will love seeing.
I don't recall
topless
any like
demons.
cursing or nudity. So
Right. Cool.
You can get a smidge violent. Oh, if you do want to see what it looks like, Jeff, you can watch our Velocity on it.
Ooh, that sounds
or
good.
get it for yourself and then screw the kids.
Whoops.
We curse in that video though. So
So then let me ask you this question. Darkspine, what are you playing right now?
Lots. Couple of bullet points. I just finished off Ratchet and Clank Into the Nexus.
Yep. Was that good?
It was really good. It proves that there's not a single game that a jetpack won't improve. It was like $750 on the PSN sale, so the price was right. It was a decent number of hours, not nearly as big as the main future games, but
So
longer
did you
than
get Quest for Booty with that too? Like
I had
originally
already
when the game released, that was like the deal because it was like $40 or something, and I wasn't going to pay that, but they said Quest for Booty came with it.
I had already actually owned Quest for Booty, so I think I did technically get it when I hit download, but I had already owned it.
Wow, so Darkspine has a nice giveaway for listeners of Pedal to the Metal tonight.
I don't think I can give it away as a thing. If I had gotten a physical copy, then yeah, sure.
I'm
still giving away a free copy of Watch Dogs if anybody wants it.
Nobody's claimed it. That shows you how much everybody loves Watch Dogs.
Does anybody on the podcast want it?
I've got it.
I don't think my PC could run it.
I could run it, I don't want it.
That's such an appropriate answer.
Watch Dogs.
Shameless plug, my review for Hohokam just went up on Gaming Bolt today. Don't play it.
I don't like it.
Why do you keep getting such garbage games? Sacred 3 and now this?
I don't know. Some god hates me somewhere, but
Talk about garbage games.
it's the biggest problem to be a game between all the art.
So
And
it's like
that's,
every PS3 exclusive.
No, it's it has less focus than even fucking Journey, and it's just if you're not in the mood to look at the pretty pictures like it wants you to, it's just not gonna do anything for you, basically.
Yeah.
And the next review I'm working on, it just came out, I think, yesterday, and actually free on PlayStation Plus, Velocity 2X Ultra.
Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to ask you guys if you played it.
I'd actually gotten an early copy, but I didn't actually sit down and have a chance to play the fucking thing with school starting.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems interesting so far. I'm not sure if I can get as enthusiastic as GameSpot about it, but it's fun. I think it could have been more hectic, more detailed, I guess.
Yep.
I don't know,
So the
Hey,
world
wait a minute,
feels a
Jason's
little
sitting in
lifeless.
the living room. Okay, what do you hear from Jason? Jason, you get a comment?
Is Jason there?
Yeah, you see him in the video. That's I was like, where's he at? There he stood up. I was like, that looks like Animal's fucking bar.
I can't hear him. Can you guys hear him?
I think it.
Jason,
Just
did you plug it?
headphones.
Did you plug
He
it?
is over there. He's a little Asian guy playing the other computer too.
No, that's guy. That's guy.
I fixed it.
Okay.
Oh, there's Jason.
There he is.
Sexist
There it
as
is.
fuck.
So you get put into the hotline. You got to be on our podcast. What are you playing these days?
Oh,
Yeah.
I am playing the new Madden, and it's god awful. It's
How's
one of those
system?
PS4. PS4.
Is it awful? I was wondering about it.
It's absolutely atrocious. It's pretty much the same as last year, and honestly, I wish there was a jetpack in it, like Darkspine said. It's just that bad.
Shocker.
No, I played. I got a full admission. I played the demo, and I didn't think it was bad. But I played it with my son, who's a definition of a sports gamer. That's all he likes is sports gamers and first-person shooter. He's a bro gamer. I don't know how he came that, but
Well, listen, I'm a
he
bro
likes it.
gamer,
He
so
likes
deal
any
with
sports games. Why don't you like it?
It's the exact same game as last year, and like it's just updated to look nicer. It looks awesome, but it's just so complicated. It's just so much extra stuff in there that I don't need. I just want to play the game. I don't want to have to deal with like looking at features and all this other crap that like I'm watching Phil Simms talk to me about the game that I'm playing. You know, it's ridiculous.
Wait, is Truck Stick back?
Oh yeah, I mean it's never really went away. The hit stick's back. I mean they put the tackles look a lot better, but there's also a glitch in it to make a person that's like really like a micro, like they're just like really little. They look like a micro machine.
Like
It's
a
just
tiny,
so-
like a tiny purse, like Honey I Shrunk the Kids, the
Yeah.
Madden edition.
Yeah,
Wait, is that
exactly.
the glitch?
Yeah, there's a glitch. It's like the middle linebacker just shrinks out of nowhere. It's just
All right,
the game is awful.
so don't buy Madden.
No, don't.
Anything
don't.
else on the PS4?
The show.
Show is good. We should play sometime.
MLB The Show. We should play
The
that
show
tonight.
is great. The show is great.
Yeah.
No complaints about the show.
No
at all.
complaints. Now, the way I play the show is quick pitch, and I play with the loaded counts. So my games last about 30 minutes long.
Yeah, it's great. Like,
Yeah.
why would I want to play 3 hours of actual baseball? That's absolutely absurd.
And why would I want to, like, I get irritated watching a game at home when I have to see like fucking Dustin Pedroia fixing his batting gloves for 30 minutes.
Exactly.
Why would I want that in my video game?
Well, that's what Madden does. You know, it's like I don't need all this crap. I just want to play the game. You know?
Yeah,
I
like
don't-
exactly. Like I'll watch old film if I want to watch an old baseball game, but I'm here to interact with it and play with it. I don't
Well,
want
some people. I mean, that's what's nice about the show is because you can have the presentation you want or not. I mean,
Yeah.
as little as you want, and other games, not necessarily just sports games. I think need that too because it's like God.
Yeah.
So much shit is just I don't know, impatient maybe.
Yeah. It's like when Heil and I play Magica together and I'm trying to hear the lines and he just skips all the cutscenes on me. Yeah.
We don't want that shit.
And I'm like, what was he gonna say? And Heil's like, it doesn't matter, just keep blowing shit up. Anyways, what were you gonna say, Jason?
No, that's it. That's it. We're good.
You're not buying Minecraft on PS4?
Huh?
You're not gonna buy Minecraft on PS4?
Am I gonna buy Minecraft on PS4? Is that really what you asked me?
It's a killer.
No, I absolutely hate Minecraft.
Oh, it's so good.
We played this game. We tried to like make it a thing. You remember this?
Yeah.
And it was absolutely awful.
I do remember it was like 2 times that we're like, how do you dig, man? How do you dig? Like we couldn't even figure out how to dig or make a hatchet or anything.
And we just went out in the middle of the woods and died. Like this. That was the entire step problem.
Remember that, and I remember that. Yeah, Animal was trying to corral us all together, and it just wasn't working. Yeah,
He was
But,
taking it real seriously. He wanted to do like what's it called? Twitch videos
Yeah.
Survival show.
in this survival show, or like Ants would vote us off, but we didn't have any fans, so, so we couldn't get voted off.
You're in my shot, man. Oh, dude.
I would have voted off John though, personally.
Yeah. So, let me ask you then, John, or in before you all, what are you playing right now?
Oh, fuck you.
I just got
John.
into. I
Sorry.
was just getting into the Batman games, so Arkham Asylum for the first time. It was in my backlog, and
Great game.
Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons,
Ooh,
which
awesome.
I watched the Total Biscuit review and decided to pick it up because he just raved about it. And how did it not blow up on System Wars when it came out? Like for
Wait,
I don't
what
remember
game?
anything
Brothers?
about this game, and there's like
Indie
reviews
multiplayer.
saying
Yeah.
it's way better than Journey.
Brothers had like its moment in the sun, but it wasn't really like a big glaring. Oh my god, you got to play Brothers. It's mostly like I feel like everyone kind of just like nods at Brothers. Like, yeah, that game's tight. It's really good.
That's because nobody likes good games on System Wars, including me.
I actually thought Brothers after we had done our top 3 of 2013 podcast, and it was like a week after we had done that podcast, I had played Brothers, and I was like, man, this might have snuck into my top 3. This game, it's really
I
good.
have to play it.
That's a bold claim, though.
Yeah, and well, you know what? It was magical all throughout, and the ending was beautiful. It was beautiful from the way that they intertwined like a gameplay mechanic into like this. Jason's gonna call me. He's so ready to push the pretentious button. He's gonna push the pretentious button. But you know, it almost is like it's just really really brilliant the way that they took like a central element of the game and interwove it into the ending and the feeling behind the ending. It's really, really well done.
Do you go to the wine store, Eureka? Not the liquor store. Do you go to the wine?
I do. Oh, I go to the liquor store, but I go right to the wine section.
Oh my god!
And do you scoff at the wines in the wine section?
I do. I stand there for 45 minutes going, ugh.
Those grapes were made on the shady side of North Ithaca.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Then I go to Dunkin' Donuts and smoke salmon culotta. Oh God. So yeah, Brothers is tight. So that's what you're playing right now?
Yeah.
Nice. Ed, what are your thoughts on the Arkham games? You like them?
Yeah, I'm actually really enjoying them, which is, I was kind of surprised because I thought they were a bit more of a stealth game, and I usually just stay so far away, but I got so many recommendations, one of them from Alex, and it's a good game.
Yeah.
Looking forward to Arkham City.
It's exactly like I told you. It's not a stealth game like other stealth games. Most stealth games are shit. It's the fact that Batman is so predatorial that I think kind of makes it work.
It's just fun to beat the shit out of people.
It really is like some of the most satisfying combat. Yeah.
And Origins is good. Play Origins.
My only complaint is that at times it suffers from what I call the Assassin's Creed flaw, where like the enemies just kind of stand around and wait to take you on one by one sometimes.
Right.
But other than that, really good.
That gets better as it goes along. Like they don't shy away late game, like to send like 7 guys after you.
I actually thought Asylum was better than Arkham City too. So are you playing that one next?
Yep.
Yeah, I said it. I said it for the controversy, but I did.
I'm gonna slap you when you get here.
I told Champ today that Deus Ex Invisible War was tight, and I thought he was gonna have a fucking coronary.
How are the Deus Ex games? Like I just built my PC this summer, so I'm trying to like go through all these games that I should have played and.
Invisible War is definitely like the bitch of the franchise. I mean, the original Deus Ex is considered, one of the best FPSs of all time.
It's like System Shock, like a really intense RPG kind of shooter.
Yeah. Human Revolution was good.
Good. Human Revolution, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you won't be disappointed in that game. It does some really neat things with the way that you can kind of go through the environments, and you can take a couple of different approaches. The only real flaw, and I don't know if this has been patched, was that you were almost in Human Revolution, the boss fights, you were almost punished for taking the stealth approach through the game. You almost needed to
buy the director's cut. Just buy the director's cut.
Yeah, the director's cut. I think they rebalance all.
They fix it. They rebalance. I played through the director's cut up to the first boss at least. Totally like cool stuff.
He was a pushover.
Shut up.
So did we go to Darkspine? He told us what he's playing.
I'll just sneak in here and reconfirm that Shovel Knight is in fact crack cocaine.
Oh, yeah.
How many playthroughs are you up to?
I'm actually only on my second, but I've played the shit out of it. I'm not entirely proud of the fact, but I have the Wii U and 3DS versions. and when it comes out on PSN, I'll probably dip once again.
Wait a minute, it's on the 3DS?
Yep.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, I didn't know that.
It's on
3DS,
the PC.
Wii U, Steam.
I'm gonna go buy it tonight.
Buy it on
Do
the
it.
PC.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
Master Race.
PC
Wait,
gaming. PC gaming.
What do you mean? It's an indie game. You see what it looks like?
Everyone says PC gaming, but
Yeah, you bought like how much
that's
did you
funny.
buy your laptop for?
It
$1,000.
Bitch.
it works. I don't have the Steam version because I couldn't live with myself, but it does work really well on the 3DS. Actually, I usually tell people to stay away from games that would use the D-pad, but it works on the 3DS.
That was actually going to be my question: is do you play it with the D-pad, given it's kind of the old classic 8-bit inspired type game, or can you even use the circle pad on it?
You can use the circle pad. I use the D-pad, and you don't need the shoulder, but the D-pad works fine.
Yep.
You want to hear something crazy? I use the D-pad for Rogue Legacy.
Oh, I do too. I was going to say I did 3 playthroughs. I did the new game plus 3 on Rogue Legacy. I maxed out my character, and I
I'm
don't
on
think
3.
I don't think I touched the I don't think I touched the analogs at all.
Are you not supposed to use the D-pad?
I don't know. The D-pad is so much more natural in that game.
It usually is in all 2D games. That's
Yeah.
just what I defaulted to.
Yeah. Yep. And so what else you playing? Shovel Knight's pretty much got you by the balls.
Yeah, I talked about Hohokam, Velocity. Shovel Knight's got me by the balls. I've gotten up until like what is it? No, not Seattle. Whatever, The Last of Us remastered. Whatever the city the ambush happens in, I'm up to like the hotel there, and just haven't got back into it.
Wait, what
I
game?
said The Last of Us
Last of Us.
remasters.
That's so stupid of me.
I told myself I would actually get into the multiplayer this time, so I should probably do that soon before it like dies.
I feel bad for saying this, and I'm going to get called a lemming for it, but I wish I didn't buy the remastered version of The Last of Us.
I wish I didn't either.
And the only reason I say it because the game it definitely deserves the respect it gets because it's an amazing game. But I've beaten it twice PS3 and I put it in my PS4 but I put it in and I was watching it and I'm like, I literally bought this fucking game just to see this in 60 frames per second. Do you know what I'm saying though? Like I started playing. I have absolutely no interest in playing The Last of Us right now. I've got way too many other games I'm playing. Like, and I'm not saying and that's not even to say I won't go back to it in 2 years or whatever, a year, and play it again. But like, I don't know.
You could have bought it at $30 then too.
Yeah, probably in a used bin somewhere. Yeah.
Oh. Infamous First Light.
I played that.
Not quite as good as Second Son, but
It's good. I really liked playing as Fetch.
I loved it too. Just the way she flows through the city, movement was excellent.
And combat in the challenge rooms are fun.
Yeah, they are. I need to dig into that more. Like,
if you own Second Son, they give you Delson for the challenge rooms.
I guess I got used to Fetch. I seem to always lose the challenges when I try Delson.
Yeah, same here.
So, Heil, and we're going to wrap up the podcast here in a minute, but this sprang into my mind when I was reading the review about First Light. Heil, is the Infamous franchise in a better or worse position than it was before the release of Second Son?
Why would it degrade? I thought the game was excellent. So
I guess I'm asking did Second Son leave a good enough impression on gamers? Along with, if you want to add First Light into that, be my guest. Did the game add in enough for you to be excited for another one, or are you kind of feeling like it's either franchise has gone on long enough, or it's just kind of a B-list franchise? Like,
I wouldn't call it B-list. I've played 3 of them, so it's about time to retire. I don't play too many games past the 3rd or 4th installment, so but I like Sucker Punch, so I think the last one sold well enough that we're going to see a new one, so I don't know. I think I'll keep buying just because I enjoy the games, but it's hard for those guys to new IPs are tough to come by.
Yeah.
But it's time for Sucker Punch, though.
Yeah.
It's absolutely time. They can't do another Infamous.
They almost need to do like what Naughty Dog does and have 2 teams, one that works on, their moneymaker, and another team to bring up something new. So, but they're not that big yet. So, but,
so then, with Heil's opinion aside, would you guys say that Second Son did not do enough for the franchise to make you want to see another one?
Oh no, I'm a huge fan. I can't wait for the next one.
I'm kind of no more.
I don't care one way or the other, but I still like them.
The 2 PS3 ones were some of my favorite games that I've ever played, and Second Son I played on a friend's PS4 and I wasn't really impressed. The city, a lot of it was the city. I didn't think the powers were as cool, but partial to electric, so.
What powers did you play with?
Video, the neon run thing.
Spoiler, or Blabadon might come screaming at us with his big stick.
Shut up, Blab. Go play the game.
Thank you.
I did everything but the rock one.
Okay.
It's
Gotcha.
very.
And
I was like.
concrete.
I watched
Smoke.
videos of it though, and I was really hoping you were going to be able to
Smoke.
fly around in a sphere like she did, and then it was just such no, not even close.
Nope.
See, I'm actually on thinking that I'm not going to buy First Light, and the reason is that I thought that the best part of Second Son was the powers, and knowing that there's only one is not compelling enough of a reason for me to spend $15.
But contained in the idea of a story, it makes sense.
Yeah,
I like it a
okay.
lot better.
Like it's a game that revolves around fetch. So why would she have separate powers?
Right.
The game's short enough for you to be like, okay, all these. You don't unlock everything through the playthrough of the main story, so it all kind of just like it fits perfectly. By the time you're finishing up, you're not tired of her powers.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're not like worn out.
2 hours long.
I'd say about 3 or 4.
How much is it?
5 at most.
$15. Yeah, $15. It's a standalone game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, boohoo! You're gonna buy it anyways.
Shut up, Cal.
Why don't you ask me what I'm playing?
Didn't you answer?
No,
Oh, sorry.
because you asked John one. Apparently,
Oh, I asked the more important John. I'm
You asked
sorry.
more important one now.
Oh, don't say that. His ego's big enough.
Go ahead, Animal. What are you playing?
I beat Metro 2033 Redux on PS4. I cannot gush about that game enough. You want to talk about how to do a remastered game? Metro 2033 was the way to do it. I think there's some new content, new weapons. They completely revamped they completely overhauled the game engine with Last Light's engine, made it awesome. Doesn't run with any bugs or glitches. They integrated 2 types of playstyles, Survival and Spartan. Survival is Metro 2033's playstyle, while Spartan is Last Light's playstyle. So you can bring in Last Light's gameplay into 2033, which is just amazing. And I think it looks beautiful and runs gorgeous. Like people were posting comparison shots. People were posting comparison shots, and I don't know where it came from. It's gorgeous, and it looks great, and it runs great, and I love Metro. I love Euphoria games. Marry me. I don't know. Does anybody want to play Metro Last Light?
I want to play the Redux one.
Redux.
So what's the difference between the Spartan mode and the survival thing, though? Like
Survival is more there's less ammo. Think of it as because they have difficulties. So they have normal or ranger, blah 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 blah. Survival is more less ammo. Enemies are going to hit you for a bit harder. The gunplay isn't as tight. It's a little loose with its mechanics, and it's a little more intense because when you're outside, you have to watch your watch. You need gas mask filters. If your gas mask cracks, you won't be able to breathe outside. So it's a little more horror-y, less ammo, less supplies to survive. Whereas Spartan, it's a lot more shooter focus. So you're going to get more ammo. You're going to find more military-grade ammo as well. And you're going to have a little bit of an easier time with your stuff.
Cool.
So it's really cool because you can do that in Last Light now as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you played through all of it? That's pretty much been consuming you?
I just beat 2033. I beat First Light. I've been playing through Dark Souls, Crown of the Old Iron King. You want to talk about how to do DLC? Dark Souls, man. I think they did it almost perfectly. Doing that 3 thing with a theme of kings. It's really awesome. I've been playing Bound by Flame. I don't know why. They had it on sale. So I bought it.
You sound so excited about Bound by Flame.
Dude, I bought it. I wanted to play it. It's kind of... Listen, like we were discussing earlier, gamers just want to play games. So regardless of whatever review score a game gets, you're just going to...
Right.
Not that game. That game sucks.
Did you play it? No, you didn't. So shut up.
I agree with Kyle. It sucks.
It got a 4. I can see why it got a 4, but like the combat kind of interesting.
But you like Army of Pooh as well, so. I don't
Oh
know.
my God, Army of Pooh. What do you like? What shitty game do you like, Kyle? Come on, let's go around. Like, what's one shitty game you like, Kyle?
Mass Effect.
Oh my god, I'll kill you. Oh my god, I'll kill you. I'll kill you. I'm putting my Garrus eyepiece on right now.
Jeff, what's one shitty game you like?
I like Knack. How about that? There you go.
Oh yeah, you
4 out of
like
10.
that.
One shitty game I like.
Like one game that I got but you're like, this was really cool.
Splinter Cell Conviction was better than most games I played in Generation 8. I love Splinter Cell Conviction was badass. I loved it.
Darkspine?
I don't want to say I like it, but I find Sonic 06 more tolerable than most.
Okay. In Before You All?
I really love Ratchet and Clank Tools of Destruction, and the
That was
GameSpot
a-
review just hates it.
Oh, we're going to 7s, then we got to put up Lost Odyssey.
And Jay, what game do you like that everyone else hates?
I don't know. Cat lateral damage.
Madden 14. It's so much better than 15.
Earthworm Jim. I still play. You know, like I don't know.
Earthworm Jim.
I liked what's that? Booger Man. I love that game.
Yeah. Manhunt 2.
And I guess I'm just
plays Manhunt. Stop.
and I'm just trying to finish up Sniper Elite 3.
Nice.
Ugh.
That game looks really fun. It looks like one of those games that I would totally not take seriously, but I'd have a blast playing.
It is. It's a blast to play. Jason played it with me.
Yeah, it's awesome. You can shoot people in the nuts, and it what does it say, John? It's just like
Nutshot.
like right in the scrotes or something.
So it takes itself really seriously.
Yeah,
No.
obviously.
Yeah. Nice. I'm playing, and I'm going to keep this short. I'm actually all in on Persona 4 right now, the Golden Edition on Vita. It's the only that I've purchased for my Vita, other than I guess Rogue Legacy, but it's my only physical copy that I've purchased. The game is amazing. It's the JRPG I've been wanting to play for years and can never find a game to scratch that itch. I'm an instant fan. I think that the writing is brilliant. I think Blab called it a Japanese Scooby-Doo episode, and that's really what it is. And I don't know if that sells it to anybody who's never played it, but in all honesty, like such a smart, stylized. The menus are fun to operate. The side quests and things that you can do are fun. The combat is engaging. It's brilliant.
Almost a perfect game.
It's brilliant. The game is
Almost
absolutely fucking brilliant. So, and I don't need to gush anymore because everybody who's played it probably feels the same way. And if you haven't played it, I don't know that 5 years after the game came out, it's going to change your mind or more. And maybe it was more than 5 years. I don't know how long it's been since the game came out. It's been a while. But it'll be a day one on PS4 to get the Persona 5. Yeah.
God, that game's gonna be so good.
I'm just waiting for Destiny. I'm sorry, everybody.
I want Destiny. I want Destiny too. I really like the beta. I can't.
We gotta make our Destiny night.
Yeah. Yep. Sounds good. So, any last words from any of our guests, or are you guys ready to roll out?
So hyped for Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yes.
I'm gonna cream in my pants about Destiny still. So that's my last one.
I'm gonna go play cat lateral damage until my eyes. Dark Spine, anything from you?
Fuck, lost it again. Nope, I'm good.
How about John, or In Before You All, the real John?
No, I'm good.
I hate
John.
you.
White
Which
John.
John is the real one?
Yeah,
I hate
am.
you.
there can only be one. You guys need to fight till the death.
Highlander John.
Accepted.
Have fun coming to stay at my house during Comic-Con.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I'm gonna tight. Well,
Yeah.
no, that doesn't sound right.
Yeah, we're. You know what? Actually, why don't you say it so that there's a little bit of proof, so in case I don't come back.
No. we're gonna. Well, we said we're gonna take him out for a night of drinking, but
And throw him in the Hudson.
well, no. Eureka just says
Juice
Eureka's
River.
like he's like, oh, I can't drink anymore. I'm a baby.
I didn't say that. I just said, geez, I don't sit on my porch at night and drink a fucking bottle of scotch.
That's what you did all summer, asshole.
Well, No, I mean I like to drink. I like to get after it, but like, yeah, I don't drink.
We're gonna take you, and you're not gonna know which way is up and which way is down.
That's the scariest fucking thing you could have ever said.
He's just gonna wake up. He's just gonna wake up in an alley in Cambodia, just
Yeah.
like a
He's
tank.
gonna
Yeah.
wake around his
He's gonna
fucking ankles,
wake up in an
asshole,
alley with a
greasy,
big New York guy going,
Yeah.
"Hey, baby,
What
how
went
you
wrong?
Smelling like animal sock drawer. Jesus.
Yes, because hey, listen, I put on a good rapport. Listen, you've been here before.
You could run faster than John there.
I ordered.
You can't get away from me though.
Yeah, that's the
Kyle.
The
You had
spider is
pizza.
caught a fly.
Kyle was at my house last year. I ordered you guys pizza.
You really did.
That's
Yeah,
weird.
where did we get like? I want real fucking New York pizza. I don't want any of this fucking Tic Tac like.
No, we'll get you Domino's, bro.
We got-
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking
Jason,
about. Yeah,
Jason,
Domino's.
we got him Louis.
Oh, you got him lose, right?
Louis is pretty good.
What- I don't want.
Domino's,
I don't want.
not as
I
shit as
want
it used to be. Wow.
Domino's.
It's
I
still
want,
pretty
like,
shit,
John's.
though.
I want like one of those like slices that's like bigger than like the paper plate they give
Oh,
it to
you
you
mean-
on, like with the cheese
Alright.
hanging down. Like,
He
yeah,
wants like one of like the New York City like just
He wants
like
carnival
run of the
pizza,
mill
That's what he wants. man.
spot.
why? I don't want run of the mill. I want exceptional. I want to be blown away by pizza.
Pizza is exceptional in New York, so the run of the mill spot is just the run of the mill
Exceptional,
spot. You know what I mean?
Okay, gotcha.
You know?
Gotcha.
I don't know what you're used to eating over there.
Yeah,
Over
get
there.
ready. Get ready for.
I make my own actually. I make
Oh,
my
do
own.
you?
Yeah, I do.
Eat like Red Baron pizza.
Yeah, yeah. I get Elios. I get Elios.
Oh, Elios is good though. No,
Yeah, I put my own.
Oh my
Pizzas.
god.
I put my own pepperoni on it too.
I figured you look like a Celeste guy. You know.
A Mama Celeste. Jesus Christ! All right, we got to get out of here. Just want to say thanks for being on the show tonight. I'm going to kick it over to the hashtag legendary Heil68 to kick us out of here.
Yeah, thanks for everyone for joining. Thanks to DDS, the real John, Animal, and of course Craig T. Nelson.
Oh, God.
BTS.
Craig T. Nelson.
Free Rogue, Free Rogue is Heil 8 later.
See ya.
DDS.
DSS. Oh, too late.